when we're comparing, we could actually be looking in that comparison as this is motivation. And this is how I can set goals that I didn't think were possible. But now I can live in the land of possibility and potential because look at how they are doing it.
If you're not conscious about your investment strategy, you won't end up where you want to be, not financially or as a human. On this show, we interview highly successful investors and share how they overcame limitations to become unstoppable forces of success. If you're ready to learn what it is to be a conscious investor so you can end up where you want, keep listening.
Welcome back, Conscious Investor. Have you, over the holidays, maybe found yourself doing some of the comparing? Maybe you've been looking at all the parties and the festivities and how jovial and social somebody is on social media, or you see them around town and you're like, oh my gosh, they have it going on. What do I have going on? And maybe you're even comparing your worst days to somebody's best days. Maybe you're going through a growth period in your life and you're comparing this growth period to somebody else's mountaintop part of their life. These type of things happen all the time. And this is why comparison is usually thought of as something that is bad, something that's detrimental to people. But guess what? Comparing itself, it isn't bad. It's how we go about comparing. That's why today I wanted to just raise our level of awareness to 3 different ways that we naturally, as we are created and hardwired to do, we naturally compare ourselves. Let's talk about those 3 things. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to tell you all 3 of them up front, and then we'll just dissect each of them individually. And I have a feeling by the end of this episode, you're going to view comparison in a very different way. So hang out with me for the next few minutes to the end, and then let me know when we're finished. Leave a review over on Apple Podcasts, and just let me know if this was supportive and helpful to you, if you had any aha moments. It would absolutely mean the world to me. So the 3 ways that we compare ourselves are, we have self-seeking knowledge, we have motivation and goal setting, and then we have social validation and belonging. So what do all of these mean, right? These are kind of intricate. They sound professional, but let's actually dive into it. So self-seeking knowledge, when we are comparing ourselves to others, it's not always bad. It usually means that our brains are confused. Oh, wait, you've heard me talk about clarity so often on the podcast, right? And that's where clarity comes into play. It says, my brain is not clear about who I am, about the outcome I'm after, about what I should be doing, about how I should be doing it, with who I should be doing it. And so guess what? I'm going to be looking almost like sonar with a bat or a whale, where it's trying to ping something off, and get some feedback, back to it, right? And that's what we're trying to do. Our brain is literally like, okay, we have no idea really what we're supposed to be doing right now. And so we're just going to send out some signals and see if that's going to come back to us. And if it comes back to us, okay, then we have an understanding. This is what we should be, striving for. This is why it is imperative that we have a clear understanding about who we are, about our greater vision, mission, and calling in life this side of heaven. Because when we have that level of clarity, our brain is far more settled. Our brain is like, no, that's really great. I'm so excited for that person. They just got that new car and that's so great for them. They just went on that vacation. That's so great for them. They just got a raise. They just got a job promotion. They just started their company. Whatever it is that person has done, our brain is settled. It's like, well, that's really great for them. That wasn't my goal. That's not what I was looking for. And so I don't feel any of the normal negativity that we generally associate with comparison. It's like, oh, well, that's really great for them. I'm not behind. That's not even the path I'm on. And so I can feel very settled in what is taking place right now. So the first type of comparison is simply so that we can have some self-seeking knowledge. If you're noticing this in your own life, if you're noticing that you're comparing yourself to the people and things around you and what's taking place, it might simply be because you're not sure. You're not clear about what you are trying to generate more of. And it's a very simple solution. Raise that level of awareness. Now, does this mean you have to go whip out a vision board and you need to no, it doesn't. It just simply means you might need to do that. Okay, I guess I have to backtrack. Like maybe that would be helpful for you. But it's simply about really becoming clear and aware as to what you're trying to generate. I know I've gone through a vision building session multiple times, and I've led people through those vision building sessions so that you can really see what is it that God would like to see from me this side of heaven that I can contribute to this world. And when we have that level of clarity, we really have a different level of invincibility, if you will. It's like, well, I don't have to worry about everybody else. They are in their lanes. Now, true story. In real time, in real Julie life, I've actually had to internalize this very thing recently. I am blessed. I'm always have the opportunity to meet new people and have new experiences, and I'm so grateful for that. Recently, I have found myself a little bit frustrated, a little bit cranky, feeling behind, and starting to have more of the side of comparison that we normally associate, that downside to it. And I realized that I was starting to compare myself and my ability and subordinating my level of self-confidence because I was looking to these other people and seeing what they were able to generate. Now, this can happen when we are going through a growth mode, which I'm totally going through this another internal revolution, which is super exciting. But when we're going through those growth modes, we need to have a very heightened level of awareness to say, it is a vulnerable position. I am going to go from being comfortable in the room to being the dumbest person in the room, which I now am. And that's really exciting. But when we make those type of transitions, we need to be very, very, very aware so that we're not taking on other people's goals, dreams, aspirations that are not ours. And so I had to actually raise my personal level of awareness recently to say, I'm frustrated and I'm feeling bad about myself, even though I do a lot of really amazing things and serve people powerfully because I get feedback from you, conscious investor, and I'm grateful for that. And because you give me that feedback through your reviews and ratings and different texts and emails, I was able to say, like, wait a second, no, I know I'm on the right path. Oh, wait, I'm just trying to take on somebody else's path, somebody else's vision mission. It's not mine. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't fit right. It's just not where I'm supposed to be. And I need to be comfortable and realign myself with my vision. Just because we go from being comfortable in a room to being the low man on the totem pole doesn't mean that we have a lesser than vision mission drive for our life. And so we need to be extremely aware of that. So as you're going down this self-seeking knowledge comparison, that's a great thing. Use that. That can help you, clue in on what's important to you. You don't have to lose yourself in the process. Raise that level of awareness. Let's go ahead and talk about motivation and goal setting. Sometimes we compare ourselves because, well, we're looking to other people and they motivate us. I bet you could name a few people in your life right now, and they don't have to be people you actually know personally, but you could probably tell me some people that are inspirational to you. This is going to be a shocker. I haven't said this in probably 2 years on the podcast, maybe even longer. Madonna is not someone that I don't have the same values as Madonna or anything like that. But the fact that she's been able to reinvent herself over the continuum of her entire lifetime is absolutely mind-blowing, staggering, and completely motivational to me. There are very few people who have allowed themselves that ability to pivot and to grow and to morph and to change. By the way, I think maybe that's one reason Taylor Swift is also endearing to people, because she has allowed herself to do that same type of metamorphosis. I value that. And I looked at that, not I'm going to be very clear, not her morals, not her values, not that, but I look at her ability to really embrace who she's created to be, in a way of that's very motivating to me. Brendon Burchard is very motivating to me. Seeing him in person speak at the beginning of December of 2023, that was extremely motivating to me. It was inspiring. It's like, wow. I mean, look at the beauty of what he has worked on for the last, nearly 2 decades, and what he's able to generate and pour into people's lives and how he can motivate people. That is so motivational. And all of these type of things can help us in setting goals for ourselves. I've mentioned this before, but when the 4-minute mile was broken, well, just within months, it was broken again and again and again and again. That barrier was completely annihilated because we need those role models. When we see people ahead of us, then we can say, oh, it can't be done. I can do it. You can do it. Let's go do this. So when we're comparing, we could actually be looking in that comparison as this is motivation. And this is how I can set goals that I didn't think were imaginable or possible. But now I can live in the land of possibility and potential because look at how they are doing it. Isn't that so cool? I'd love to know who are your top 3 people that you would look to as, people who are motivating. I will say I looked at every single family member, to Super Rad Steve, to Little Miss, to my guy. I looked to each of them. They are all role models and influences in my life where I am just blown away at who they are and their uniqueness. Every one of the Hollies, we are all extremely very individualistic and very, very unique people. And it's exciting to see. And it gives me more permission to actually be more of who I was created to be, because we honor that so much within our family. So, think about it. Could be within your family, it could be friends, work, it could be people you don't even know. But look to those people and say, who am I comparing myself with that is motivating to me? The third type of comparison that we do, and this is one where I think it's going to feel far more comfortable and far, like, oh yeah, that's the type we're used to hearing about, is social validation and belonging. You've heard me say so often on the show that humans are hardwired. God created us with a need for connection and a need for community. And within that, we like to know where we stand. We like to feel like we belong. And I know that a lot of people, lots and lots of people also like to feel like they are wanted. Not just that I belong here, but I am wanted at this table. I am wanted in this room. Like they actually want me here. Earlier today, I got out of a meeting I was invited to. And I wrapped up the meeting and I said, well, I'm truly grateful that you considered me for this. And I'm truly grateful, that you reached out and extended this opportunity to me. At no point am I ever going to be like, oh, yeah, thanks, but no thanks. How gross is that? The fact that somebody wants us at a table is a really powerful experience. And it's amplified further when we belong there. Now, sometimes we think about this, or I do, because we have a flock of chickens. I don't know where we're at. We're somewhere between 13 and 15 probably right now in the flock. And there is a clear pecking order. We have introduced different chickens over the years at different points, and there is definitely a way to do it. We have learned how to do that effectively, and it's wonderful. But I'll tell you what, there is a clear pecking order, and you can see that sometimes chickens will get picked on and such. People like to know, where am I at in the hierarchy of things? You might feel this way at your work, like, I wonder how much they're making an hour. I wonder what their salary is. What's their compensation package like? Like, where am I compared to them? We use that as a way for us to better understand where we're at within our village, if you will. That could be our family, it could be our community, it could be our work, it could be lots of different places. And again, this doesn't have to be a bad thing. So now we have to consider, why are we associating so many negative feelings towards comparison? I'm going to go back to and rely on self-seeking knowledge and that form of comparison. I think most of the time when we start to feel that rise of jealousy and that little bit of envy creep up within us, it's really more of an indicator that we are simply not clear about who we are and what we are trying to generate in our lifetime. When we're clear about that, now we don't have to be jealous and we don't have to, shoot, little daggers with our eyes at somebody because of how we feel, because we can be settled in how we feel. When we compare ourselves to others, we can gain a clearer, better understanding of ourselves, we can become more motivated, and we can have those greater feelings, that sense of belonging, that sense of, this is my community and this is where I fit. Now, remember, you've been listening long enough, conscious investor. And so, when I say that, then nothing is ever stagnant. And you may be like me, where you are shifting pools, and maybe you've been in one room or one pool, and now you're transitioning into another. There's a connecting there. It's fine, but be aware and be kind to yourself. That's what I have for you this time, conscious investor. I'm so excited. I hope that as you are going through your week, that you are looking for ways that you are, subconsciously comparing yourself to everything around you. And then I hope that you take that and that you raise your level of awareness so that that is a beautiful comparison for your life. Allow it to be a motivation. Allow it to be an insight into who God created you to be, because you are extraordinary. It's been a while since I've said this, but remember, adventure, it belongs on the trails, not in our personal investing, not in our personal lives and not in our investing lives. Let me be clearer about that. As we strive for our personal freedom and our financial freedom, we don't want to have a bunch of ups and downs that are unnecessary. So I would absolutely love to pop on a call with you. It really is just like talking to me. Like, this is how I really sound. And it's very safe. So I'd love to invite you to schedule a time for us to talk and connect. I'd also like to extend out an invitation. I do have a coaching slot available. And if that's something that you are interested in pursuing, if you're like, Julie, I've never heard someone talk about comparison in a good way. I've always felt bad about this, and it might stir up a lot of feelings for you. I support people in taking, their first and next steps in investing, but also in their steps in gaining personal freedom. And I can help you do that. And I'm always excited to. So, find a time down on the calendar, or you can shoot me an email at theconsciousinvestorpodcast@gmail.com. Until next time, remember, once again, adventure belongs on the trail, not in our journey to personal and financial freedom.